Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Can you all hear me? Beautiful. Good morning, everyone. Please rise for the Star-Spangled Banner. Please be seated. Good morning, board members, administration, faculty, families, friends, and the class of 2022. And welcome to the 2022 commencement ceremony. We are here this morning to celebrate the accomplishments of the 15 seniors who, in just a couple of hours, will transition from students at to alumni of the Kew-Forest School. And this moment that we are inhabiting is a curious one, a ritual, a formalized set of actions and processes that, looked at in another way, could be considered an annual habit. So then, a ritualized habit that celebrates change, that antithesis of habits and routine. This morning, I'd like you to think with me about habits, change, and emotional agility. Every morning, as I sit on the train heading to school, I take a few minutes to write my morning journal entry in the 5-Minute Journal app. I came across this app some 5 or 6 years ago and have used it regularly as a reminder of all that I have to be grateful for, despite and perhaps because of all the challenges and changes affecting us every day. My journaling has become a part of my morning routine, a ritual, a very good habit. I'm certain each of you has a whole slew of habits as well, whether they pertain to the first few things you do when you get out of bed every morning, or perhaps the order in which you eat the food on your plate. Human beings are, after all, creatures of habit, likely as a function of how our brains operate. Processing new input requires energy and attention beyond what we expend on daily routines. When we take in that information or action and turn them into routines or habits, we can expend less thought and less energy managing ourselves. So then change, new information, new people, new requirements and expectations can throw us for a loop, even when we want and are excited by it. Seniors, graduating and becoming college students is a change you want and are likely quite excited about and proud of. At the same time, you may be experiencing nervousness, anxiety, or maybe even fear. Many of you will be moving out of your homes and away from your families. You'll meet new people and have to make new friends. You'll encounter a new set of professors that will change each semester, a new set of classes and expectations, a new physical environment to explore and commit to memory until it, too, becomes as familiar as the back of your hands. Like the roller coasters many of you rode on Friday, these upcoming changes are likely to be both thrilling and terrifying, but you will go through with them nonetheless, pushing beyond your comfort zone into your uncharted future. As has been true in your lives thus far, you're going to encounter so much in the coming years that brings you joy and laughter, that connects you to family and friends, new and old, that expands your minds, hearts, and horizons beyond what you can imagine. You're also going to encounter so much that is just really hard, so much that challenges you, that upsets you, that makes you feel like the rug has been pulled from underneath your feet. I would submit that those moments and those experiences will be among the ones that propel you to grow the most. Oprah Winfrey has said that, and I quote, "Challenges are gifts that force us to search for a new center of gravity." And she urges, don't fight them, just find a new way to stand. Came across that quote in my 5-minute journal, and it dovetailed with a book I've been reading. In her book titled Emotional Agility, Dr. Susan David, a psychologist on the faculty of Harvard Medical School, highlights the ways that, quote, positive emotion is linked to lower risk of anxiety and depression, to more satisfying relationships and greater feelings of well-being, as well as to better decision-making and longer lives. What's really interesting, though, is how she also highlights how so-called negative emotions, and I quote, encourage slower, more systematic cognitive processing and summon a more attentive, accommodating thinking style that leads you to examine facts in a fresh and creative way. It's when we're in a bit of a funk, she says, that we focus and dig down. So then challenges and upsets can be teaching tools, helping us ask more questions, seek deeper answers, see more of what is around us, and perhaps even become more ourselves. After all, the caterpillar transforming into a butterfly goes through an incredibly taxing process, but the end result is something beautiful. All of this, I think, can be summed up in the fortune cookie I got last weekend. Chaos precedes great brilliance. When you go to clean your rooms and to pack for college, a massive mess will inevitably precede your packed bags and organized rooms. When you go to express yourselves creatively, whether through writing, painting, or some other mode, your final product will be the shaping of what was previously a mess of thoughts and marks. So when you find yourselves going through whatever valleys you encounter, know that on the other side, you will emerge more beautiful, more thoughtful, more centered and grounded, more you. I look forward to seeing you at next year's Alumni Weekend and hearing about all the ways your year away has changed you. You have all my best wishes for joy and challenges as you create the lives you are dreaming of. Congratulations on all you've created and become thus far. And now, Kew-Forest, please welcome our head of school, Mrs. Carla Jantos MacMullen.
Okay, how does this sound? All right. So as Ms. Trotter just said, I'm Carla Jantos MacMullen. I'm the proud head of the Kew-Forest School. And good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to our soon-to-be graduates and their families, friends, and loved ones. I also want to welcome back to the gymnasium for in-person graduation our esteemed faculty, staff, and administrators, and members of the Kew-Forest Board of Trustees. And, not to be forgotten, I want to welcome and acknowledge a member of the class of 2022, Wen-Chi Chen, and her family, other special guests, and the extended Kew-Forest family who are watching the live stream from around the world. In spite of challenges we've all experienced over the last 23 months, we gather together as a school community to send off our beloved class of 22. Before sending them off, we're here to celebrate them, both individually and as a group, to reflect on their paths at Kew-Forest and drop some additional wisdom for them to carry forward into their incredibly bright futures. Some of you know that each year I take great pride and pleasure in crafting my remarks and looking for inspiration to create meaningful thoughts to share with you and your families on this auspicious day. This year, what caught my attention was a post on the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater Instagram account, followed by a long-forgotten memory of a wild, hand-painted car done by a graduating senior at the first and only other school where I worked. Let me lead you through how these seemingly disparate things connect, and more importantly, connect to you. First, a bit of a sidebar. Whether you've been here at Kew-Forest for 13 years, or 2 years, or any amount of time in between, please bring your time at the school to the forefront of your mind's eye. So think about your time here. And more particularly, the people you met, the other students, their families, your teachers, and all of the other staff members you encountered as you navigated your Kew-Forest experience. A factor in your time at Kew-Forest, whether you planned it or not, is what you each have contributed to and gained from our incredibly diverse community, a community in which individuals identify in myriad ways. I trust that you've noticed this, valued this, and expanded your worldview along the way. This singular variable sets Kew-Forest apart from other independent schools in the 5 boroughs, and will likely set you apart in your next home, wherever that may be. Your capacity to connect with and to serve people who are not like you is a gift from your Kew-Forest experience, a gift that grew by forming relationships and working alongside your Kew-Forest classmates and teachers. Your lived experience, though, is only one way to continue to learn deeply about yourself and others. I posit that art, very broadly defined, has the ability to illuminate the human condition. First, a couple of working definitions, both derived from Wikipedia entries. Apologies to the history teachers and other teachers in the room. Wikipedia is not the best source, or should never be your first and only source. Art is a diverse range of human activity and resulting product that involves creative or imaginative talent expressive of technical proficiency, beauty, emotional power, or conceptual ideas. With this in mind, to me, art encapsulates disciplines that come quickly to mind, like the visual and performing arts, in addition to other creative expressions, including literature, poetry, culinary, and creative coding. The human condition encompasses the totality of the experience of being human and living human lives, and composes the essentials of human existence, including birth, growth, emotion, aspiration, conflict, and mortality. Art has the ability to illuminate the human condition. Now back to that car, which is a memory of mine from 2002. This particular 2-door navy blue car, which often parked quite near my own car, toward the end of one of the students' senior year, was entirely painted with bright colored shapes and a bold message: art saves lives. I pondered what that meant then and brought it forward to the present. Art has the capacity, at the very least, to make a difference and enrich the human condition for both the creator and any individual experiencing the product. This particularly resonates at Kew-Forest, a relatively small community where students and their teachers produce countless creative products and share them with the community or keep them private, because for some, making art is like breathing. It is a necessary human function. In your mind's eye, remember the last time you heard or played some music, and many of us were able to do that over the last couple of weeks in person with our amazingly talented musicians and performers. Remember the last time that you worked in the Kew-Forest art studio, ate or prepared a fine meal, visited a gallery, or went to the theater. Remarkably, art can encapsulate emotion and the intellect. It can help an individual process and express a range of emotion from despair to hope, and cause another individual to experience that emotion and give rise to empathy. Art can make meaning in the wake of a singular tragedy or an enormous societal and cultural upheaval by expressing the unspeakable or speaking on behalf of those who do not have voice. Art's reach is vast and its impact profound. How, though, does art help you stay on a path of personal discovery, of identity formation, and of seeing others who are and not only seeing others for who they are, not only what they have in common with you? How does art help you expand your knowledge and understanding of the human condition? Art makes the process of deeply knowing and understanding someone else's experience easier because it provides a pathway for humble curiosity and the ability to question. So when you're looking or experiencing a piece of art, you may wonder, what were they thinking? Who is this for, or what does it mean? Stories, plays, paintings, lyrics, and other art products allow us to cry over another's experience, to celebrate the accomplishment of others, and to get outside of ourselves and temporarily inhabit another world, another persona, or another dynamic. Art provides mirrors for and windows into identity and embodies the human experience, allowing for opportunities to continue learning about others and sharing pieces of oneself. Art adds value to our lives. Judith Jamison, a creator of extraordinary art, said, "You must retain your love of what you are doing and understand why you're doing it." As a dancer, choreographer, and among many other accomplishments, the former artistic director of the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, Miss Jamison knew what she was talking about. Not only must you figure out and nurture what you love to do, you must understand why you do it to make the circle complete. Whether you practice any creative process or seek out opportunities to experience others being creative, remember to find out what you love, to understand how and why it brings meaning to your life, and to continue to do it. As your time at Kew-Forest comes to a close, I know you are well on your way to doing just that, finding your purpose, sharing it with others, and making a difference in the world by how you understand and treat those around you. In closing, I have 3 bits of advice for you. This is the dropped wisdom, I hope. 3 bits of advice for you relating to keeping art in your life and understanding why it matters to you. Number 1, art is for everyone. Find your access point and go for it. If you already have an access point, expand your exposure. Treasure what speaks to you and always leave the door open for new art forms. Number 2, enjoy art, yet learn how to experience and make sense of it from a personal perspective and from an educated perspective. Take a musicology, dramaturgy, or art history course during your continuing education. Don't miss that opportunity if you have the chance. It allows you to access art through emotional and intellectual lenses. And number 3, seek out and support art in general and artists, especially those whose lived experience is different from your own. You have the most to gain from these artists and their art forms. Class of 2022, you've shared your talents and your hearts with us. I have seen your worth, and I know it's only the beginning. You're ready to take this show on the road and expand your horizons and worldview. We will miss you and the spirit you carried through a non-traditional second half of your upper school experience. You are leaving a fine example behind for grade 11, and we are grateful. If life is art, you have demonstrated something exceptional. Godspeed.
Thank you, Mrs. MacMullen. And now, I would like to introduce our first senior speaker, Benjamin Honig.
Sorry. Can everybody hear me? Perfect. Good morning, Ms. MacMullen, Board of Trustees, parents, friends, and my fellow graduates. For my entire life, I've attended the same school, worn the same suit and tie, and walked the same route to school with the same group of friends. Naturally, as a child, the concept of change seemed to be a far-fetched idea that often frightened me. After scarfing down Frosted Flakes, I would quickly rush out the front door with my brother. 30 seconds of brotherly time would soon be disrupted when we turned the corner and met the Baydoun and D'Amato children. Not far down the road, we would be joined by a rowdy group of fleurs. I was the baby of the bunch, naive, immature, and often found trailing behind with a big chocolate stain on my white uniform. The 10-minute walk to school was my first education. Overhearing the intimidating Model UN strategies of the oldest siblings, listening to frantic conversations about Dr. Sipley's assignments, and picking up bits and pieces of locker room drama from the others. The older siblings were my role models. They would teach me the ins and outs of Kew-Forest and prepare me for what to expect. At the time, most of these conversations had very little meaning to me. But the seriousness with which they spoke filled me with a sense that I had a lot to grow into. Even though it was sometimes cold, rainy, and gloomy, the morning walks that have marked my Kew-Forest career made me feel sheltered and comfortable, knowing that I had the older siblings to set the pathway for me. Consistency and familiarity ruled my life, although change would soon become a bitter pill that I would have to swallow and tolerate. The moment that Dr. Spellman handed me my first Cambridge Latin book, I dreaded the day when I would have to walk to school alone because I knew that without the older siblings at Kew-Forest, it would be my turn to act as the leader that they were for me. As I began to take the same classes, participate in the same clubs, and go through the same experiences that they went through, I was filled with a challenging dread that comes with being alone in a new environment. This safety net that was maintained throughout my Kew-Forest upbringing was now eliminated. I had a newfound responsibility that forced me to adapt as a reaction to the uncomfortable and unfamiliar situation I was thrust into. I felt insecure that I would not be able to live up to the legacy of the older siblings. Now, Kew-Forest has put all of my classmates into similar environments in which they've had to rise to a challenge. For example, Ava conquering her insecurities in math and taking AP Calculus BC. James finding the courage to speak in front of hundreds of delegates at a Model UN conference. Zach stepping out of his comfort zone and playing on the basketball team. Emily rising to the challenge of leading Model UN. Sascha taking an A-push test without crying. You get it. The point is that we all have our struggles regardless of how tall or small they may be. However, two virtues of Kew-Forest have allowed us to adapt to these intimidating changes. First is the KF community, which has allowed my classmates and me to be confident in who we are. I'm an odd being, a passionate foodie, obsessed with sports, and a curious student who bombards their teachers with questions. Even with eclectic interests, there are always people at Kew-Forest that engage my curiosity. For instance, a typical day consists of Mr. Pinoro and I recapping the highlights from last night's playoff hockey game, debating with Ms. Carr about the best Indian takeout, and interrogating Ms. Kourides for hours about politics. We talk so much that I sometimes miss my lunch. These experiences and relationships don't exist anywhere else. I can speak on behalf of my classmates that the support system at Kew-Forest made us confident in who we are as individuals, and that inspired self-confidence makes adaptation to change possible. Now, the second virtue is a close-knit student body. Not only could we expect support from the faculty and administration, but we also had each other. For instance, you can often find Sascha, James, Ava, and I sitting in the science rotunda working together, whether solving the impossible math question that Mr. Pinoro assigned, or reflecting on the ideas of our English papers. With such a small grade, we can't hide from our shortcomings, but rather we are forced to address them proactively. As a result, the small student body at Kew-Forest has encouraged us to be resilient self-advocates who aren't afraid to hunt down our teachers for help. Kew-Forest has equipped us with the tools to seek help and solve our own problems, leaving us empowered in the face of change. Now, as my wonderful classmates and I graduate and embark on our next chapter, stepping into a completely new environment without a uniform, without knowing who our next friends will be, and without knowing what life will throw our way, it's important that we embrace change. We will enter an environment where we may lack an immediate support system, but we must draw on the life skills that we have learned over the years at Kew-Forest to build a network around us. And as we start this new journey in our lives, it is vital that we find a community where we have our Dr. Spellmans of the world who constantly show us new movies, Miss Kourides of the world who unpack every ongoing political event, or the Mr. Jacksons of the world who are obsessed with any game, whether it's a video game or board game. I'm sure we're all nervous and scared as we begin this new journey in our life, but the point is that Kew-Forest has made us independent and resilient. We are not afraid to face the world. We are not afraid to ask questions. We are not afraid to stumble, and we are not afraid to pick ourselves up again to continue the journey. To quote President Obama, change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. So class of 2022, don't worry. We are prepared for what lies ahead. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I will now present the Kourides Trophy, which is awarded to the senior who has achieved the highest academic grade point average for the 4 years of secondary school. The class of 2022 recipient of the Kourides Trophy is James 2. And now, don't get comfy, because coincidentally, our second senior speaker is James 2.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'll have to say that was a really good speech by Ben, so I hope mine can compare. Welcome, Ms. MacMullen, members of the boards of trustees, faculty, staff, family, friends, and the class of 2022. I'm extremely honored to be giving this graduation speech for the class of 2022. For those who don't know, my name is James 2, and I've been at KF for 7 years. While it has had its ups and downs, my time at KF has been quite enjoyable and has afforded me and my classmates opportunities that we wouldn't have found elsewhere. From the close student-teacher relationships to the various clubs, shout out Science Research Club, to a diverse yet small student body, KF's tight-knit community is truly like no other. To all my friends, family, and teachers, I'm truly grateful to you for your encouragement and support that has helped shape the person I am today. So today's the day we've either been looking forward to or dreading our entire high school career. I, for one, am part of the latter group, though I don't believe this dichotomy is entirely black and white. I think I speak for all, hopefully, when I say that graduation is at least a bit terrifying. It's just an in-your-face reminder of the never-ending era of time. For us, that means no more late nights doing A-push SAQs, shout out Ms. Vesio. No more Calc Club, shout out Mr. Panoro. No more Membean, Actually, that might not be that bad. No more field days. No more experiments with Miss Carr. Shout out Miss Carr. No more 2-hour bus rides to away games. No more doing anything but studying during study halls. No more goofing off with our friends during lunch. No more high school memories. This is it. This chapter in our lives is finished, and now it's time to start the chapter in the next book that is our lives. However, as I turn to the next page in my book, I can't help but feel uneasy about the pages to come. Will this chapter be happy or sad? Eventful or boring? Relaxing or stressful? As someone involved in science research, I'm expected to embrace uncertainty since that is what science is all about, as graciously taught by Mr. Wong. However, I'm only 18, and I would be lying if I told you that I'm completely prepared to face by myself the roulette game that is life. I have no clue how to adult, even though I technically am one. Heck, I can barely even write a graduation speech. Fun fact, I had no intention of writing a graduation speech at first. I've never done anything of the sort, and I certainly never thought of myself as a speech giver. As a mostly quiet guy whose favorite words are, "I don't know," it's literally my yearbook quote. I really didn't see myself as qualified to give any sort of speech, let alone for graduation. When I first thought about writing a graduation speech, I immediately questioned how it would turn out. What should my tone be? Shout out Dr. Sibley. How am I going to make my speech memorable? How am I going to inspire everyone here? Should I decline and hope to be better safe than sorry and just enjoy my break, lest I embarrass myself in front of the whole class? However, as I thought about it more, I realized that I was being held back by the same fear I've had for graduation for the past 4 years, the fear of uncertainty. As much as I hate to admit it, it feels good to hide behind the curtain of predictability. The warmth of routine and sameness is ever so enticing. However, one day life will strip that curtain away from all of us, whether we like it or not, leaving us naked and defenseless. As the hand of life was pulling on my curtain, I need to choose how to react. Seize the day or shrivel in fear, star in your own show or stay as the background character. Now or never, it's my choice and it's all of yours. So the more I sat on it, the more I thought, why not? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so let this stuttering, kind of nerdy, procrastinating introvert take the spotlight and see how that goes. At first, I didn't know much. I didn't know how I managed to write this speech, nor how long it would take. If you're wondering, it took a few hours before the deadline, like most of my high school assignments. I didn't know if this speech would be selected or if I was just wasting my time. I didn't know, but I kept writing. Now, even as I talk to you, I still don't know much. For instance, perhaps to Dr. Sibley's dismay, I still don't quite know what the tone of this speech is. I don't know how much I'll stutter in the coming words, but I don't wish to count. I don't know how you, the audience, will react to my attempt to inspire you. I don't know what my future will look like, nor that of yours. As James 2 once said in his yearbook quote, I don't know. But that's okay. This graduation is just a free trial of what's to come. We're all moving into unknown and uncomfortable territory, and it's fine to react with I don't know. Actress Lillian Russell once said, we all have a fear of the unknown. What one does with that fear will make all the difference. Although I doubt that I or anyone else here will completely conquer the fear of uncertainty, I hope we can all channel that fear into something meaningful. Whether it's through a graduation speech, a new class you're hesitant on taking, or just talking to someone you've never met before, we'll all have the chance to face uncertainty head on. Be a scientist and welcome uncertainty with open arms. Be a writer and make uncertainty your own. Be all the things you want to be and all the things uncertainty presents to you. Only when we embrace the uncertain will the next chapter of our lives write itself. Uncertainty may be scary, but where's the fun without a bit of the unknown? Life only happens once for each of us, so enjoy each and every moment, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad, and even the ones that leave you saying, I don't know. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2022.
Thank you, James. The presentation of the roses is a tradition at Kew-Forest, where our graduates have a chance to give thanks to someone in the audience who has been instrumental in their education. In keeping with guidelines designed to keep us all healthy and happy, this year's presentation will occur in 2 phases. First, we will now all enjoy a slideshow presentation wherein our soon-to-be graduates name the rose recipients and how these wonderful people have enriched their lives. Then, at the conclusion of ceremonies, the graduates will proceed outside, pick up their roses, and present them to the recipients informally outside under the tent. Please enjoy the first phase of the presentation of the roses. I would now like to introduce our third and final senior speaker, Sascha Pearlstein.
Good morning, Ms. MacMullen, Board of Trustees, faculty, families, friends, and my fellow graduates. I would like to begin with a quote. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. I know what you're all thinking. This quote, or any quote for that matter, is probably the most cliche way to start a graduation speech. Anyone in the audience who has read my final college essay probably knows where I'm going with this, but for the rest of you, allow me to explain. I'd say that everyone has a similar experience when perfecting their Common App personal essay. It's stressful for everyone. We're given 500 words to show universities who we are, what has pushed us to become that person, and of course, why we are the best student candidates. My experience, however, differed slightly from that of my counterparts. To make a long story short, I wrote my college essay about my father being an undercover artist and how watching his humbleness is what inspired me to recover from anorexia. Or at least that's what I was going to write about until these plans were thwarted by a college advisor who told me that writing about my journey recovering from an eating disorder would raise unnecessary red flags to any college admissions officer. I should clarify that I didn't use my 500 words to detail my suffering, nor did I give any reason for colleges to think I would be a threat to their community. The essay was merely about my journey upwards. When she told me I had to shut down the essay if I wanted to be admitted to a school, I was devastated. Of course, I had spent months working on the essay and I didn't want to see it go down the drain. But it wasn't the idea of writing another essay that concerned me so greatly. I had plenty of time to do that. What upset me was to hear someone say that my story made me a threat. My healing process, which I knew was inspiring, raised a red flag. I have learned many things throughout my time at Kew-Forest, one of the most important being the skill of self-advocacy. Throughout my time here, I've constantly been taught to value my independent thinking, whether that's in the classroom, on the volleyball court, leading the student council, or any other role I've played at the school. I'm confident that if a different student was told by a well-rated college counselor that they shouldn't submit an essay with a certain subject matter, they would go back to the drawing board and come up with a new topic. At first, I did just that. I found the paper on which I had brainstormed ideas for my essay in Dr. Sipley's class and began considering my other options. Of course, I only did so for about 5 minutes until I remembered who I am and where I come from, Kew-Forest. I was not going to let somebody tell me that my story posed me as a threat, especially when I knew I was far from that. I emailed the counselor who had rejected my idea and told her I was going to proceed with the essay about my recovery. I was determined to submit an essay that came from me. I wanted nothing artificial. Luckily, I had Mr. Polk, along with all of my teachers, on my side. Just like always, I found myself supported by my community. That's one of the most special things about this place. Everyone believes in you. I ended up submitting an essay that discussed why I disagree with the Oxford Dictionary's definition of the term cliché. I used different cliché statements and explained how they applied to my recovery from anorexia. I finished the essay stating that the amount we consume something as a society should not indicate an automatic loss of value. If anything, our personal interpretations are what make these statements so valuable. That brings me back to the beginning of this speech. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. This quote would certainly be considered cliché, but it has a different meaning to all of us. I will most certainly be smiling as I leave Kew-Forest today. I will smile thinking back to laughing with Mr. Panoro, Ben, Ava, James, and Vinay in calculus, or sitting with Miss Vesio and Miss Kourides as they give me valuable life advice. I will smile thinking about initiating a peer tutoring program and watching it come to life. And of course, I smile thinking about each and every moment I've shared with all of you. To my fellow graduates, there are two things I hope you always remember. First, remember that if there is one thing we have learned here, it is the ability to believe in yourself is what allows you to succeed. The essay about recovering from anorexia, which I was told would cause colleges to reject me, is the reason I will be attending my dream school in August. I encourage you all to believe in yourselves, regardless of whether someone tells you not to. Over the past 4 years, I've watched you all create clubs, join sports teams, and grow as people, regardless of the discomfort that has come with doing so. I know you all have the power to advocate for yourselves, as I've seen you all do it before. And second, know that nothing is set in stone. Just because the term cliché is defined by Oxford as a statement or phrase that lacks original thought, does not mean that we cannot disagree with it. You can always question something that already exists, or even change it. Maybe one day I'll change the Oxford definition of cliché, and you'll all get to say that you went to high school with the girl who did that. Good luck to you all in the future. Let us remember each other for our accomplishments over these past 4 years, especially those achieved through self-advocacy. You and I, along with everyone else in this audience, will always be a part of the Kew-Forest family. Let us never forget that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sascha. At this time, I would like to acknowledge the recipient of our Lifetime Achievement Award, which honors those students who have attended the Kew-Forest School from kindergarten through 12th grade. Would the following student please stand and receive applause in honor of your lifetime achievement? Ben Honig. Congratulations, Ben. This past Thursday, we held the Upper School Awards Assembly where many members of the graduating class received awards for their academic performance, their leadership, and their personal qualities. 4 awards are reserved for graduation, and so I will now present these final 4 graduation awards. The Founders Award is given in memory of Guy H. Caitlin, co-founder of the Kew-Forest School, to the senior whose many contributions to the Kew-Forest School reflect a spirit of enthusiasm and a commitment to excellence. This year, the class of 2022 Founders Award goes to Ben Honig. That was my one chance to be taller than Ben. The Marriott Award, in memory of Louis D. Marriott, co-founder of the Kew-Forest School, is given to that student who has shown the greatest personal growth and development during her or his career at Kew-Forest. The 2022 Marriott Award for showing this greatest personal growth and development goes to Sascha Pearlstein. The Millar Cup is awarded to that student who, through his or her contributions, has had the greatest positive impact on the Kew-Forest School community. The 2022 Millar Cup awarded to the student for the greatest positive impact on Kew-Forest, goes to Emily De Leon Escobar. And lastly, the Wilson M. Johnson Award, established by the Student Council of 1974 in memory of their beloved headmaster, is given to that member of the graduating class who best exemplifies the Kew-Forest qualities of character, service, and academic excellence. This year's recipient also received 4 awards at our upper school awards ceremony on Thursday. The 2022 Wilson M. Johnson Award for Character Service and Academic Excellence goes to Candace Russell. And now, I'd like to introduce our 2022 commencement speaker, Adam Molnar. Class of 2010. Adam is a co-founder and head of partnerships at Neurable, a leading brain-computer interface company. A recipient of Forbes 30 Under 30 for consumer technology, he works with brands to bring emerging technologies to market. Adam is an advisor to the Institute of Neuroethics, as well as the founder of the Content Initiative for Neurotech X, the world's largest neurotechnology community. Adam's also an entrepreneurship mentor to numerous startups, accelerators, and competitions, including Mass Challenge, the Rice Business Plan Competition, and the Knowledge Society. He is a board member of Forbes 30 Under 30, as well as an advisor to the IonX think tank, E equal, and more. Adam has degrees in behavior change and entrepreneurship from University of Michigan and graduated from the Kew-Forest School in 2010. He was a member of Mock Trial, Model UN, and the boys varsity basketball team. Please welcome Adam Molnar.
Hello, everyone. Hold on. This is too low. Can I raise this up?
Yes.
Uh-oh. I'm going to mess something up. Here we go. Much better. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Wake up. Come on. This is an exciting day. This is for them. It's a celebration. I've always done things differently ever since I've been at this school. So I'm going to start that way, too. Go a little off script. Although it's not going to be like when I spoke in my graduation, because when I spoke, I was reading a poem and then I went into a rap. But I will spare all of you that embarrassment. I'm here and I'm listening to all of these amazing speeches, and I'm somewhat, I'm like, oh no, all of these students are scooping my speech. They're taking my main points. From Benjamin talking about the power of resilience and sticking through the hard times, to James talking about the power of inquiry and keeping oneself humble in the face of the unknown, to Sonia, right? Sascha, so sorry. To truly embracing humility and being proud of where you come from. Those are the key themes of my speech, but you guys already nailed it pretty well. Hold on. Hello, class of 2022. I'm extremely honored and excited to be here. This is truly a surreal experience for me. I slept on that stage for basketball lock-in. I totally fumbled a speech for student body elections when I was a junior. I have countless memories of the locker room, outside, the gym, everything. I haven't been back here in 12 years, but it still mostly looks the same. Thank you, head of school, Carla MacMullen. Thank you to the trustees, to the teachers and students, the support staff that allows this place to continue to run, and obviously the parents for empowering your children to receive the Kew-Forest experience and education. Some of you may recognize me. I did a remote KF Wall segment talking about my career and path, but I honestly can't remember the last time I was back and inside the school. However, I actually do see KF every couple of months or so. I still have this recurring nightmare. In the dream, I'm walking around the hallways, and I'm super anxious that I'm not in uniform. I know that I'm an adult in this dream, and that I've already finished high school, but I still have to go back for one more year. And every single time, I'm the most scared about this one thing, a Latin vocab test for Dr. Spallman. That's 100% true, like every 3 months or something. I guess some things don't change. But really, I'm so happy to be here. I don't know how much you know about me, but I'll give you a quick catch up. When I graduated from KF in 2010, I didn't go straight to college. I took a year off to do social work in the Middle East, working with Palestinian and Israeli high school students, very much like yourselves, on a coexistence mission. I then went to the University of Michigan for my undergraduate degree, studying environmental science and behavior. Somehow, I got this crazy idea in my head to launch my own company. That idea led me down a crazy path. After I graduated, I gave up a job consulting and pursued my own company. At one point, I ended up being homeless, sneaking into my university's library at night so that I could get free Wi-Fi to work on my company after I finished working my 2 other jobs. But with downs come ups, and ups come downs. My company made it into a selective accelerator program, and we were doing awesome. Until my co-founder left me and took all the software with him. I lost my company. I got a new job, I found a new group of friends, and fell for a girl, but then she broke my heart. The loss of my company, being heartbroken, and still living at my university after having already graduated was rough. I was really down, but then I met a crazy neuroscientist who can control technology literally with his mind, and he brought me on to my second company where I have been for the past 7 years. Life is filled with ups and downs. In my opinion, life is many things, and experience is often how you frame it. Whether you think life is a movie or a dance, an adventure or a puzzle, I haven't quite sorted that out yet for me, but I'm still looking. In thinking about what I could possibly meaningfully say to a group of graduating seniors, I struggled. I actually just came back to New York a little bit ago for the summer and stayed with my parents for a week here in Forest Hills. While taking a walk through the neighborhood, I happened to pass the senior wall. The Avengers. Awesome. Almost as good as ours. But looking at the wall, it hit me. You guys are the Avengers class. You're superheroes. So what I'd like to share with you that I wish someone had shared with me when I was a graduating senior, just a few superpowers to help navigate this little stream of life. A few tools, perspectives, and lessons I wish I had someone tell me when I was your age. So for the first superpower, I want to talk about the power of inquiry. James, I'm looking at you. The ability to formulate the right questions, posing them inwards and outwards frequently and effectively. Dr. Spallman, who just, by the way, was inducted into the Kew-Forest Faculty Hall of Fame, once told my Latin class about his time in graduate school. He talked about the fact that he was not scared to ask questions, especially when he was lost. He emphasized the value of not caring about what others thought about you and asking the questions you need to ask, which he attributed as a key differentiating factor between the rest of the class and him. I don't know how well I'd be able to read the Aeneid anymore, but I can tell you with certainty that I will never forget that lesson. The ability to reflect and inquire is magical. This is different from doubting yourself. To doubt oneself is to disbelieve in one's own ability. Inquiry is about empowerment, and you can use it to shed light when you are lost, when there are too many options to decide, and especially when you don't have all the answers, especially then. It is paramount to develop the superpower, which is even more relevant today than ever before. In a world filled with disinformation, a world filled with so much hate and divide, a world that is changing faster today than it has ever before, understanding the why of things, posed both inwards and out, will make all the difference, I promise you. The next superpower I want to talk about is resilience. Since I started my company, I've seen literally dozens of people start and fail with their businesses. At my company, I've had to make decisions that wrench one's soul. I've had to lay off one of my best friends and my first employee. We came one day away from having to shut down before receiving a near miraculous last-minute investment and way too other many close calls and stories with the scars to show for it. But it would have been logical to shut down and pack up at any of the countless setbacks and odds set against us. It would have been easy to give up. But if I had, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be working on a technology that could literally quite change the world. I wouldn't have consulted with the United Nations. I wouldn't have met billionaires and world-famous scientists. I probably wouldn't be speaking here today. The differentiating factor between the people I know who are successful is not who is the smartest, not who is the nicest, nor the prettiest, but very truthfully, it is those who are the most resilient. Life will beat you down, and if you can work with that and find the means to pick yourself back up, you will win. No matter how strong you are, life will have other plans. A favorite quote of my co-founder and me is from Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. I would even go so far as to argue that growth is not what you obtain, whether it be a degree or a car, an award or a title. Growth is meeting challenges and persevering through them. The last superpower I would like to impart on you all today is one of humility. We are all so fortunate to have been able to go to this school in this city. Going to school in Queens alone is a superpower. The exposure to culture and diversity here is second to none. Trust me, I've lived in many cities, I've been in many countries. Many of you will be leaving the state for school. Do not take it for granted. Having gone to KF and being from the best city in the world, we come with a special perspective that unfortunately a lot of the world does not ever get to experience. The ability to recognize the positives in one's life and appreciate them, in my opinion, is the single most important factor towards happiness. It doesn't matter if you are a humble farmer in Argentina or Elon Musk. If you don't appreciate what life has afforded you, you will never be happy. Fortunately, life has afforded us all plenty. If I were speaking to anyone else, I'd leave you with a quote from my favorite Dr. Seuss book. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. And will you succeed? Yes, you will, indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. But for the Avengers class, I have a different quote, which includes the powers of inquiry, resilience, and humility. I went forward in time to view alternate futures, to see all the possible outcomes of the coming conflict. How many did you see? 14,605,000. How many did we win? 1. So with that Kew-Forest class of 2022, the Avengers class, find your infinity stones, refine your superpowers, embark on the 14,605,000 realities, opportunities, adventures, and failures. Go find your winning one. Thank you.
It's all right. That works too. Thank you, Adam. And now, I ask that you all rise and join us in singing the Kew-Forest alma mater, whose lyrics can be found in the program or on the screen to your right. We ready? We're going a cappella, folks. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All hail to thee, Kew-Forest. Be this our song today. Be loyal to the red and blue. We journey on our way. May we thine ideals cherish, thy noble purpose claim, so all the world may see that we fulfill thy glorious aim. Our study then be earnest, our joy, our friendship too. In work and play let us each day be steadfast, ever true. For all that thou hast taught us, we give our thankful praise. Kew-Forest, Alma Mater, our song to thee we raise. Please be seated. And now comes the moment our seniors have been waiting for, the awarding of diplomas. This year, one of our international students was scheduled to return home early, and so she's joining the graduation festivities remotely. When her and each other senior's name is called, you will all be able to view their senior photo to my left. What's more, at Kew-Forest, we do not give our diplomas out alphabetically. We give them out in a random order with the understanding that the last graduate to receive her or his diploma will leave Kew-Forest with some extra good luck. Joining me for the distribution of the diplomas will be Board Chair, Mr. Christopher D'Amato, and Head of School, Mrs. MacMullen. Mr. D'Amato and Mrs. MacMullen, I now present to you the class of 2022. Leading us off, Wenxi Chen, who joins us remotely. Molly Sheridan. Ercida Jetta. Sascha Pearlstein. Take your time. Alia Sarai Gomez. Lilith Viveru. Avi Kankarov. Zachary Joshua Taylor. Yes. Leon C2.
Great job.
James 2. Candace Aaliyah Russell. Ava Branch. Emily de Leon Escobar. Will our two remaining seniors please stand? Recall that our last senior leaves with a little extra good luck, and these names were all placed into a random order generator, right? So it's the roll of the electronic dice. All right. Next up, Kimberly Ashley Hara. And now I'd like to invite board member Ms. Ellen Honig up to award this final diploma to Benjamin Honig. Congratulations to the class of 2022. You may now switch your tassels from the right side to the left. Audience members, I'm going to take this moment to explain the procedure for exiting the space in accordance with the Department of Health guidelines for maintaining safe social distance. So the first folks to exit this gymnasium will be our graduates. They'll process out, pick up goodie bags, grab their rows, and wait to join you outdoors. After the graduates have fully left, I will dismiss you as the audience members to exit through these middle doors and join your graduates. Because of the intermittent rain, the photo opportunity, the step and repeat, has been moved inside. So when you exit to join your graduates outside, one of the faculty members or admin members will come tap you, and when there's a moment, and say, would you like to come in and have your photo taken, and take that moment. All right, so just be on the lookout for an admin member, perhaps a faculty member, coming to tap you to come inside to take your photos. Graduates of the class of 2022, please stand. Lilith, you can take them away.
Class of 2022, you are remarkable as individuals and collectively. You've left your mark on the school, and I particularly have been so impressed with the work that you've done this year in gathering together on several projects and things that are meaningful to the community. Thank you for your time at Kew-Forest, and I wish you the very best in your next step. Please stay in touch.
Congratulations, class of 2022. I'm going to remember you as my first class here at KF. Best of luck in the future, and don't forget to come back and visit.
Congratulations to the graduates of 2022. Wishing you all a fabulous future.
Congratulations, class of 2022. Best of luck. Mwah.
Seniors, when you entered high school, no one could have predicted the many challenges you would encounter. Your graduation is proof that you're resilient and capable. you can face the future with confidence, knowing that you possess the power and ability to find a way to make your own unique and personally rewarding contribution towards creating a better world.
Hey, class of 2022, it's Mr. Verney. I just want to say congratulations and the best of luck on whatever it is that you decide to do after Kew-Forest. We will see you out there.
Seniors, class of 2022, centennial graduates, you who began high school 100 years after KF's very first students. To you, I say congratulations. You've come through 15 years of schooling to reach this threshold, this rite of passage and celebration, and you deserve all the heaps and piles of congratulations and happy wishes that are coming your way. Soak it all in and enjoy. Congratulations.
Hey, Jag. How's it going? Oh, what do you have there? Oh, it's a poem for the graduates. Roses are red. Violets are blue. That cap and gown looks awesome on you. Congrats, class of 2022.
Hey, class of 2022, it's Ms. Garfinkel. Congratulations on your graduation. You've been through so much these past few years, but you did it. I wish you the best of luck in the future, and I'll miss you all next year.
A todos mis muy queridos estudiantes, les deseo con todo mi cariño un éxito en la universidad y que viajen y que practiquen su español. Fue un placer conocerlos, que tengan éxito. Chao.
Hi seniors, congratulations on graduating. You're all amazing and I hope you keep in touch because we're going to miss you tons. Good luck with everything.
Congrats seniors, good luck in the future. Don't forget to visit.
Congratulations class of 2022. We've had such wonderful memories together throughout the years, and I'm so grateful to have been a part of your creative journey. I hope that as you embark on new adventures, you remember to stay bold and brave, and you strive to make a positive impact on the world. I love you all so much, and I will miss you dearly.
Hi, Kew-Forest class of 2022. Congratulations, and welcome to the Kew-Forest alumni. It is wonderful to see all of you graduating. Now, I remember some of you from when you were 10 years old, and I was teaching you when you were 10 years old. And it's so wonderful to see how you've blossomed and how much you've enriched the school. I see you helping, setting up a tutoring program, working with food pantry, doing so much service within the school and outside in the community. And I hope you'll continue this, and I know you'll continue this with all the communities that you're going to encounter in your life. I wish you joy and health and happiness in any adventures. Bring the best of yourself always, and don't forget to visit the school. Bye.
Congratulations, class of 2022. I remember 4 years ago, you are my first class here to teach at Kew-Forest as you begin your first year in high school. And a majority of you have me as your last high school science teacher. I'm really glad to have the honor to watch you all grow personally and academically into the people that you are today. The world is vast and full of amazing things for you to explore and to discover. So stay curious and make this world a better place for everyone.
Hello seniors, it's been a wild couple of years. Congratulations on graduation. I'm proud of all that you've accomplished, and I want to wish you the best moving forward with your lives. As your English teacher, I want to encourage you to keep reading. Anything at all that you find interesting and enjoyable, just keep reading and stay curious about the world.
Congratulations, class of 2022. You've become quite a community of champions. But now it's time for you to become champions of community. Show the world the joy, the opportunity, the strength that comes from being a part of community. You'll always be part of the Kew-Forest community, but you'll now have the chance to create communities of your own. Have fun.
In college, study hard, be safe. If you're in college, don't party too much. I hope you have a good time in college, and don't forget about us. Congratulations. My name is Adam. I'm the youngest in Kew-Forest. Congratulations. Congratulations. When I'm in college, I'm going to design video games. Always remember Kew-Forest.